Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going? Welcome to episode number 961 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live today from the San Francisco Bay Trail here at Bear Island in Redwood City, California. It's 59 degrees. Not a bad day. Slight chill, not that bad. Not cold enough for the gloves to be on the hands, but chilly enough to put a jacket on. At least have one layer on. Stay cozy. Looks beautiful out there today, says respectfully and maturely and professionally. Hey, babe. How are you doing? So nice to see you here, babe. It's not a bad day. It's a little windy, 50, 59, 58 degrees. And today we're going to be talking about self-reflection. We're going to be talking about focusing more on yourself. In life, we all have problems. We all have issues. Let's focus more on self-reflection. How many times have you heard someone say to you to look in the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror, after you've said something that may not have been considered that nice, right? I'm waiting for some people to pass on by. I know I've been told many times in my life to look in the mirror. And when I was younger and I heard that, I felt like telling people to go fuck themselves. And I think I did tell them to go fuck themselves. But as you get older, you realize that there's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth to that because the way that we react to things or other people is usually based on how we feel about ourselves in the current moment. Do we feel that we're successful enough? Do we feel that we're worthy enough? Right? And sometimes when we don't feel successful enough or worthy enough, or if we feel like we're a total failure, if someone says one little thing wrong to us, we snap. And I'm here to let you folks know today that instead of snapping, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, why did you really snap at that person? Is it because they truly offended you? Or is it because you feel you're lacking something? Or are you actually lacking something and just not willing to work on what you're lacking and turn that part of your life around? Give me a second here. Got a little bit of wind again here today. But as I was driving over to the trail, it's like a 10 to 13 minute drive depending on how long the lights take to change. So I was driving over to the trail. I heard a song from the 90s, an R&B song from the 90s that I haven't heard in a while. I have Don and I have Amazon Music Unlimited, the version without commercials, and it also plays like high definition music and ultra HD music. It's like better sound than any of the other streaming services. It's great. and I heard a song by the group called Silk. Remember the group called Silk? And I'd be happy to do my rendition right now. Let me lick you up and down till you say stop. Let me play with your body, baby, make you feel hot. Let me do all the things you want me to do. You know why? 'Cause tonight, baby, I wanna get freaky with you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Remember that? Yeah. That's Silk with Freak Me Baby. Uh-huh. Freak Me Baby. Remember that? Oh boy. You know, they don't make them like they used to. They definitely don't make them like they used to. A lot of great romantic, loving, tender R&B songs back in the 90s and in the early 2000s. And then music just went down the shitter, in my opinion. Not all music, but a lot of it. Anyway. So I'll tell you, what inspired me to do this topic today. I was going to stem off of yesterday's topic, but I decided, enough was said and done there, right? That I'm just going to, go with this topic today about self-reflection and the importance of self-reflection. It was another video by a creator I've been following for probably close to 3 years now, Pedro Santiago, who used to be known as Pedro DoorDash Santiago, but now is Pedro Mr. Bet on You Santiago. It's a great rebrand. And Pedro put out a video probably about an hour or two before I went live. It was a short pre-recorded video, about 10 minutes long. And he was saying, I haven't paid that much attention to the trolls and the haters. And I haven't really felt the need to respond like I used to. Pedro Reacts. He has a Pedro Reacts channel, and he also has a Pedro and Hannibal channel, and he hasn't really done much content on those channels lately. And, I'm actually pretty proud of how he's turned things around. But he was saying, yeah, the same 30 or 40 people are still, saying the same stuff, talking shit about me, trashing me, whatever, right? And he's saying, in other words, I could sit there and react, or I could just look at myself in the mirror. Look at myself in the mirror and ask myself, why are they doing this to me, right? Self-reflect, right? Maybe some of the things I've said or done has offended these people, and they're never going to get over it. And I've just learned to accept that, right? And that's exactly what I want to talk about here today. Is a lot of times, when we have a lot of issues, we blame others instead of self-reflecting and seeing that our problems are based within ourselves. Each individual is their own problem, right? Did my screen just freeze? My screen, I thought, was black for a second. I think we're good. I think we're good. Babe, if you're still around, or anyone that's around, let me know. So give me a second here, folks. Give me a second. All right. So yeah, self-reflection is absolutely critical to allow yourself to get into the best mental and emotional state possible. So that way you can accomplish whatever it is your heart desires. You know, a lot of people will lash out at others and blame others for their failures, right? And you only have yourself to blame. Because even if other people are criticizing you, whether it be online or offline, it's up to you if you want to allow that to define you or get to you, right? If you allow people to get to you and upset you, then that will define your, unsuccessful attempts. It'll prove to people that you're not successful because you're not even trying to be successful. A big part of being on the right path to success is overcoming criticism, overcoming hate, overcoming other people's negative opinions about you, right? It's about overcoming other things too. Overcoming the fear of public speaking, overcoming the fear of, just anything else that you're feeling or that you're fearing and it's holding you back. But typically, one of the main reasons why people can't get ahead is because of how they see themselves or don't see themselves, right? People that are successful self-reflect all the time. I self-reflect each and every day. And each and every day when I go home, after I do a piece of content, for example, these Walking with Purpose streams, I try to listen to most, if not the entire stream, between driving on the way home or during other parts of the evening where I may have time to listen to it. I listen to how I came off. I listen to, did I react? Did I overreact? Did I act just right? And I self-reflect over that show. That's why it's so great when you do like a live stream on YouTube. You can go back and watch your own replay, and I highly suggest you folks do that, like I've said before. Go back and watch and listen to your own replay and listen to how you came off. If you had trolls or haters come in, how did you handle them, right? And there are many ways to handle it the right way. There are many ways to handle it the wrong way. But what matters the most is, deep within, does it actually bother you? It doesn't matter how you may appear to be coming off to others. What matters is how you feel deep within. Other people can say, oh yeah, Eli, you overreact every day and you get triggered at the smallest thing and this and that. And people are entitled to their opinions. That's what they think, and they may honestly feel that way. But only you, yourself, and myself knows how we truly feel deep down inside. That's all. Give me a second here. Only each individual knows how they feel. And that's all that really matters. Now, yes, you should, look at, the replay of your video and see how you're coming off. And try to, do a better job if you're going to react to something. Do a better job coming off more authentic, but just be yourself. And don't let things get to you no matter what happens. Right? In my younger days, I didn't do a whole lot of self-reflecting. I did a whole lot of complaining when things, didn't go my way. I would complain to the girlfriends I was with. I would complain to my family, my mom, my dad. I would complain to my brother. I would complain to all of my friends. I would complain to anyone that was willing to listen to me complain. And the more and more people that listened to me complain, the more it made me feel like my complaint was being validated when that's not the case, right? People that truly care about you, like your friends and your family and your significant others, at least for a while, are going to tolerate that type of piss poor behavior. But even after a while, if you don't get the hint and start turning things around and start self-reflecting and realizing that the problem is you, not everyone else you're complaining about, then people are going to start to walk away from you. Right? Or they're going to make an extra effort to not call you back or avoid your texts, or they're going to hang out with you less. They're going to make excuses, right? All of us, have had friends where at one point we spent a lot of time with them and they were, available more regularly. Then all of a sudden, these same friends stop being as available. And a lot of us think it's because, they just don't have time for us. They're busy. They're in a relationship, whatever. That's not really the case. That is partially true, but the truth of the matter is that people don't want to be around people with shitty attitudes. They don't want to be around with people that are complaining all the time. So the first step that you can take, if you're noticing that people aren't spending as much time with you and they're staying away from you when they once weren't, whether it's family, whether it's friends, regardless of who it is, look at yourself in the mirror, self-reflect, and realize that the problem is you and how you're coming off and your attitude. Right? And it's much easier for people that may even love who you are as a person but don't want to be around a shitty attitude. It's much easier even for those people to just ignore you for a while than to reach out to you and talk about the issue. Because what happens when you confront people that have a shitty attitude and you tell them you need to do some self-reflecting? They get really upset and triggered, and they're like, who the hell are you? What are you, a psychiatrist? What are you, a psychologist? What gives you the right to tell me that? Right? And their reaction further cements the reason why you're not talking with them, right? Thank you, babe, for taking care of that. Good job. It's much easier for people to walk away than to try to tell you why they're walking away, because that's only going to trigger you more. That's how pretty much everyone is, at least initially, until they are able to work through their issues and become stronger. I used to be that way. I used to let everything get to me in my younger days when people would tell me, hey, Eli, come on, man. You're a better person than that. Come on, dude. Don't let that person get to you, and let's just have a good time. And they're trying to give me a hint and say, dude, your attitude is shitty, man, and we don't want to be around this. Come on, turn it around. And then sometimes my friends would tell me, and then I would say, oh, fuck you, dude, I'm out of here. And then I would leave, and I wouldn't talk with them for a while or see them for a while. And I realized that I was the problem. The problem was within me. Now, that doesn't mean that my friends were perfect and never made mistakes, right? That doesn't mean my friends never said things that, you know, that hurt me. Yeah, they did say things that hurt me. But I let those things get to me instead of saying, hey, come on, dude, you don't really mean that. See, now at age 51, if someone tries to knock me down, right, I handle it a few different ways. If I'm in the real world, I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. Hey, listen, man, I'm sorry you're having a bad day. And listen, I'm not going to take any offense to what you said because I think you're having a bad day. No, I really think you're an asshole. Okay, well, hey, I'm an asshole then. I'm sorry for being an asshole. Even if you're not an asshole, you come back and say, hey, dude, sorry. If you think I'm an asshole, I'm sorry for being an asshole to you. I wasn't trying to be an asshole. Right? You try to diffuse the situation with maturity and humility, right? And kindness, right? You try to de-escalate the situation. Now, if you're on the internet sometimes, like on YouTube, Facebook, or whatever, that's a different story. Social media, you know, our personas on social media are a little bit different than the real world. Like, sometimes I've been known to give people a piece of my mind regarding their shitty, piss poor behavior out here on YouTube, right? I choose when I want to do that. But I don't do that because whoever I'm calling out is upsetting me. I do that because I'm trying to use them as an example. I'm trying to show other people this is how some people are, and you don't have to let them get to you. And here's the reason why these people behave this way, right? That's why sometimes I might go back and forth with a troll or someone that claims to be a troll and actually has a real name. It's funny. I've got, you know, real life trolls out here that use their real name and show their face. Right? And I'll call them out, but it doesn't get to me. I'll call them out because I want other people to see that it doesn't get to me. And I want to explain to you people that have no experience that may want to become a creator one day, this is what you're going to be dealing with. And a lot of people tell me, hey, Eli, ignore it. I got an email yesterday from someone from someone that I've banned on this channel many, many times. He's always reached out to me and tried to tell me, don't let the trolls get to you. They're not getting to me, dude. They don't get to me. You keep emailing me every so often. You still follow my content, even though I've banned you many times, and I don't think you're a bad guy. I'm not going to say who it is. But understand, the trolls are not getting to me. Sometimes the trolls are examples in my content. Because in today's day and age, the real world is overlapping with social media. And if you're still around, babe, correct me if I'm wrong. The real world is overlapping with social media, right? I think I'm going to do the whole trail today, even though the last part's probably going to be really windy like yesterday. Ah, man. There's a lot of traffic on the 101. Besides it being a tad little bit chilly, not chilly enough for gloves, but chilly enough to put a jacket on over a layer below. Besides that, it's a beautiful day. I cannot complain. Spring is here. And I can't complain. I really can't complain. You know, earlier today, and I gotta say this. I've been really talking it up on Facebook regarding Trump and Musk and politics, and people that know me, they know I'm anti-Trump, I'm anti-Musk, I'm just anti this administration that I feel is the worst administration in the history of our world. It's just ridiculous, right? And, you know, when I was networking all over Northern California, many years ago, I that's the problem. The switcher is right above the mute button, and I got to make sure I'm not muted. I think I'm good now. Yeah, I am good. When I first started networking over 15 years ago, or around that time, I had 4,700 Facebook friends out of the max 500. Now I have 3,700. I've lost about 1,000 friends in the last 7-8 years. Which, honestly, and I really haven't accepted that many new friends. I've accepted maybe like 10 or 20 friendships during that time. So, 8 years, losing 1,000 friends, being very controversial, being very open and honest, that's not bad. I can always replace them. There's more people, and there are people waiting in the queue I got to go and accept. But I got to take the time to make sure they're not trolls, right? You don't want to be giving the wrong people access to your Facebook. But one of my Facebook friends, Vincent, he's a Trump MAGA supporter, but he's actually a pretty nice guy. And he's been going back and forth with another friend of mine that used to be a Republican 10 years ago, but switched to being a Democrat because he didn't like all the Trump stuff, right? And so Shane and Vincent, they've been going at it, and I've been trying to be nice to. Shane's been calling Vincent out, and so have I. But I've tried to be nice about it, and so has Shane. But Vincent sent me a private message today asking me if it's okay if I can communicate with you. through Facebook Messenger at times, and we can talk about some politics. No problem. No problem. And he was asking me about some things regarding Obama and Nancy Pelosi from the Biden era. And, you know, how Trump was trashing them, and now they're trashing Trump being back in office. And he was asking me, what do you think is happening there? Why do you think that's happening? And I sent him a voice message back. I was running some errands. I sent him a voice message back, and I said, look, man, throughout the history of administrations here in the U.S., presidential administrations, right? No one's ever been as unprofessional as Donald Trump. Donald Trump, I said, calls, and Vincent lives here in Northern California. He's someone I met through networking. I actually know who he is. He's not a bad guy. He's a good dude, all right? And I basically said, Vincent, this is more about Trump calling our governor here in California names. He calls Newsom Gavin Newscom. Trump would call George Stephanopoulos a journalist, a media journalist. He would call him George Slopadopoulos, right? And that's why I've always called Trump a troll, because honestly, do you have to call people these names on social media? Can't you just say, hey, I disagree with what you said, George? Or do you even have to acknowledge the media as much as Trump does, right? So I basically told Vincent, I said, listen, man, I understand where you're coming from. And I said, look, the behavior of the Democrats hasn't been that great lately, but they're just reacting to what Trump started. Trump started this whole thing by being unprofessional and calling people names, including them. So now the Democrats are like, we're done sitting back. We're done just watching Trump belittle us. We're now going to come back at him with the same shit he's coming at us with, right? And a lot of people are saying, even Chris Cuomo is saying, the Democrats have been acting immaturely. And I'm disagreeing with him. And I'm disagreeing with him because I've had a similar experience in dealing with similar people on YouTube, right? A lot of people that have come at me and made content on me have done the most dumbest shit, right? And a lot of people say, "Oh, ignore it. Don't talk about it. Don't feed the trolls." They don't stop. The only thing you can do is stand up for yourself. At some point, stand up for yourself. Give them a piece of your mind, maybe once or twice, and then move on. But if you sit back and do nothing, that's not necessarily going to get rid of the situation. If you sit back and do nothing, that's not going to get rid of the situation. I've tried that. The Democrats have tried that. And the Democrats have gotten tired of the nasty things Trump keeps saying when the Democrats haven't said anything nasty to him. So now, at this point, we're like, okay, we've already been through Trump 1, the first administration, the first term, right? Now this is Trump 2, the second term, and he's amped it up even more. Now we're going to start to stand up for ourselves. And that's what you're seeing. I told Vincent, that's what you're seeing. This isn't even about power or politics. It's about name calling. It's about fame and glory in the public spotlight. It's about, Trump trying to get all this attention and keep the spotlight on him. And without Democrats responding, it could almost make people feel like, oh, well, maybe they're not responding because what Trump is saying is right. So you got to stand up for yourself at some point. And that's what they're doing. But I respect Vincent for reaching out to me. And we can respectfully disagree and have a reasonable conversation and try to find a happy medium. You see, those are the types of people that I respect, right? Even though we disagree, this is not about having to agree on everything. Because here's the thing, I've said this before, I'll say it again. If everyone agreed with everything, the world would be a boring place. It would not be polarizing. Everything we talked about would be boring to listen to by anyone, right? The reason why things are interesting is because we all have different thoughts and opinions, right? But can we share those thoughts and opinions? Give me a second here. Can we share those thoughts and opinions respectfully, professionally, and maturely, like my girlfriend Dawn's YouTube username? Respectfully, maturely, professionally. Of course we can. But many people choose not to, for whatever reason. Right? I firmly believe most people that don't respectfully disagree do it on purpose because it creates more drama on social media. And especially if they're doing it on YouTube or a monetized platform where it can get them more views on their videos or their photos or whatever. More people will find out about them and they'll make more money. They'll get more traction and make more money. Right? So it's not in essence that these people are, not being true to themselves. They may actually feel exactly the way that they're speaking and say, oh, Eli, you're a fucking loser for feeling that way or for not believing that this is the truth, right? And listen, I'm not going to come out here and say I'm a saint because lately, over the last few months since Trump's been in office, I've been responding in that way too. I've called a lot of these MAGA supporters, dumb losers. And why am I doing that? Despite the fact it sounds very unprofessional and is very unprofessional, it's because in these situations, you don't have another choice. These people, basically, it doesn't matter what you say or do. They're going to continue to act stupidly because that's what they use to get attention and make money. And if they're not doing it for money, they're doing it for attention. Or they're doing it because they're lacking something else deep within. They're unhappy within themselves. Thank you so much to the 20 people that are here. Please smash a thumbs up. Please share this out. We've got 5 thumbs up. We've got 22 in the box right now. Thank you so much for being here. 24 in the box. Thank you very much for being here. It's very, very clear today. What a great day for a walk. We're going to go to the observation deck for a second. The guys that were ahead of me are just now coming down. So we're going to wait for them just a second here. It's a very beautiful day. I'll give you some good advice as I come up to the observation deck. If you're struggling with something, or you're constantly overreacting to anything that other people say, friends, family, other loved ones, right? It's time for some self-reflection. And let me tell you, when I come out here on these walks, sometimes I've walked the trail without doing a live stream, but even when I'm live on the air and I come up here to this observation deck, and let's say there's nobody here, and look, for like a mile or so, there's nobody around me. I'm out in the middle of nature. I feel like I'm on top of the world, and I feel like I can self-reflect. One of the best things you can do when you're struggling with anything, especially being able to deal with people in general, and if everything bothers you, go take a walk. And take a walk on a trail like this. They're everywhere. There's got to be one in your area where you can just come out to an observation deck like this. You know, I'm sure your trails in your area have a special spot that's peaceful and doesn't have many people, if any, around, right? And just self-reflect. Just turn everything else off and just start to think about what's really bothering you, right? Think about, should you let other people's opinions of you get to you, right? Should you let anything in general bother you, no matter what's bothering you? Because no matter what you're struggling with, if you can't stay focused, then you're not going to be able to turn things around. You're not going to be able to fix anything that you can't focus and concentrate on. So if you allow other people to distract you from focusing on what you need to handle, that's going to affect you from being successful. All right, let's start to head back. 1 3/4 miles done, 1 3/4 miles to go. And then back home with my lovely lady Dawn and the dogs. And a wonderful night of just hanging out, watching some Netflix and chill, like they say, right? We say Netflix and chill because that's the phrase, but it could be Netflix, it could be Hulu, it could be Max, it could be Peacock, it could be Paramount Plus, it could be Amazon Prime Video. You know, it's funny. I told Dawn, because I heard about this online, and hold on a second. Yeah, I heard about this on YouTube through some of the channels I follow that are covering Trump, right? And one of the channels said President Donald Trump sold the rights for Amazon Prime Video to now stream The Apprentice show. So I was telling that to Don. I said, I heard that The Apprentice is now streaming on Amazon Prime Video. So I go click on Prime Video on our TV in the living room, right? And I'm like looking for it, and it was right in front of my face, and Dawn saw it. She goes, there it is. I don't want to see that. I don't ever want to watch Prime Video again. I was laughing. Because I got to tell you. I got to tell you. My woman is funny as fuck. She is. See, a good woman like Dawn will see things that I don't see that are clearly right in front of my face. And I'm like, shit, that's right in front of my fucking face, right? Look at that. Beautiful, that plane. Beautiful. I said, babe, we're not going to ban Amazon Prime Video just because Trump's Apprentice show is on there. We just won't watch it. I just thought that was pretty funny. I don't blame her for feeling that way, though. Listen, I don't blame her. It's the same thing. Like, people now are trying to ban Tesla, and man, has Tesla taken a big hit. And the funny thing is, this company, BYU, I believe they're based in China. I believe it stands for Build Your Dreams. They're building new electric cars with more solid state batteries that are safer than lithium. They're just trying to find a way to mass produce them because it's a more extensive process than lithium ion batteries. They say lithium ion batteries are more prone to catching fire and stuff like that. I've never had a problem with lithium ion batteries. I mean, they say if they get too hot, they can catch fire. I mean, that would make sense, but they don't get hot. I mean, chargers are regulated to cut power to charging a battery if it starts getting too hot, or if once it's full, it stops charging. But yeah, they're saying that the solid state batteries that BYU company is using to compete with Elon Musk's Tesla, when they find a better way to mass produce them, it's really gonna change the world. Like, honestly, you're gonna start to see some stuff where Elon Musk is he's gonna have to do something, or his money's gonna start to go down the other way. It already has. It already has. I just felt that was noteworthy to mention. Thank you to the 25 people that are here. Much appreciated. If you'd like to support the show, if you truly enjoy the content, right? If you're watching the content, you enjoy the content. If you do, please consider making a super chat or a super sticker. You can also send a donation via Cash App and PayPal. Nightbot is sharing the link every 7 minutes in the chat. So yeah, when I was younger, it just was more difficult for me to self-reflect. It was more difficult for me to. Wow, that's nice. Hold on. It's more difficult for me to self-reflect. It was more difficult for me to accept responsibility for my actions. And all of that was holding me back from my true potential. Now, we all make mistakes along the way of life, right? And even as we get older and we're making far fewer mistakes, we're still making some mistakes. And it's okay to make mistakes as you get older, as long as you learn from them, right? And you look back at the major mistakes you made growing up, and you try to prevent making those mistakes that you made, the severe, crazy mistakes you made when you were younger. Oh, we've got an ambulance in the fast track lane on the freeway. There must be an accident on 101. I hope everyone's okay. Give me a second. Got a few people that are passing by me. I want to respect their peace and quiet. A nice elderly couple walking together. That's so nice to see. I'll be like 85 years old and I'll still be walking this trail, and if YouTube is here, I'll still be broadcasting live with my selfie stick. And I'll tell you what, my girlfriend Dawn and I by that point will be married. If she's still watching around, she'll be like, I sure as fuck hope we'll be married by then. But the next thing she'll say is, if you're fucking still doing this shit at 85 years old, not retired, then I'm going to peace on out of here. I wouldn't blame you. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. As far as the podcast that Don and I are going to do, first episode will be next week. We were going to try to do it this week, but some other things came up, and we know once we get it going, we need to be consistent with it, and we are going to be. We just want to launch the first episode the right way. We just want to fine-tune everything, refine everything, and we're just about there. We just need a little more time because we've had some other things that have come up as well. So next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow, is going to be the first Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. It's going to be a 1-hour intro to the show, and we're going to talk about some stuff. We're going to surprise you. And pretty much on this show, anything goes, and whatever Don wants to talk about, Don can talk about. I'm not holding her back anymore. Like I said in the past, like I mentioned When I did the live stream on the other channel, the main channel, G&A, Genuine Personal Development, if you're not subscribed there already, please go in the description. The link is there to the main channel, G&A, Genuine Personal Development. Subscribe, bang the bell, and select on notifications so you don't miss anything pre-recorded or when we go live. The moment we go live, you'll get a notification if you hit all notifications after subscribing. So I did a live stream there, and I was just sharing that, hey, at times, I was trying to hold Dawn back because I just didn't want her getting attacked, and, she was still new to this, and I didn't want it to affect her mental health. But her mental health has gotten a lot better, and she's become stronger, and she's able to handle this. And that's why we're so excited and looking forward to this podcast, because I'm not saying you folks are going to see a completely new dynamic between Dawn and I. Those that have seen this in the past, we still have the same dynamic. The difference is that Dawn has a lot more tolerance for bullshit, and she has a lot more clarity regarding why certain things happen out here on YouTube. And if she wants to tackle them head on, she can tackle them head on. If she wants to ignore it, okay, whatever, babe. If you don't want to talk about it, no big deal. I'll share my thoughts about other things, but you don't have to include your name on it. So, but if you do, if you want to talk, you got that nice Shure SM58 microphone right there. I told Dawn, just as long as you talk right in that mic, because they're dynamic microphones, they reject background noise. So you've got to talk right up on them or they don't pick up as well. I remember doing our shows in the past. I would put the mic right in her face, and then she would move it off to the side, and we couldn't hear her as well. And she's like, "No, I've been paying more attention to how other people use those microphones." Still a lot of traffic on the 101. I hope everyone is okay. Got a beautiful plane coming. Yeah. I think it's gliding nice and smoothly. All right. We are at 59 minutes, almost an hour. Awesome. I've been taking a little bit longer today because I've been stopping to just enjoy the beautiful scenery and showing you folks around. Yeah, so, we're going to be talking about relationship dynamics. We're going to be talking about business topics. We're going to be talking about politics when warranted. Now, Dawn doesn't like politics, like I mentioned on that preview live stream I did on the other channel earlier last week. But at times, she will share her thoughts when warranted. There are times where something really hits Dawn politically. And You know, I want her to speak out when she feels like it because I want to know what would trigger someone that typically doesn't talk about politics to want to talk about politics for that moment or that day, right? Because there comes a point in time where no matter how much any one of us tries to avoid something, it's not avoidable anymore, right? So, you know, many people have the outlook of, well, if something's not serving me, then just ignore it and avoid it at all costs, right? That is true for the most part. Yes, that is true. But in some situations, when you're creating content on YouTube, or when you have the president of the US that's affecting all Americans with what he's doing right now, you know, sometimes, you know, talking about certain things you typically want to avoid, you know, is unavoidable. It starts to hit you to the point of where you're like, you know, I don't really want to talk about this. I don't like what's going on. But I'm really feeling like I need to address this. I really feel I need to get this off my chest. So I want to know, if you're watching, babe, and I'm sure you're watching. Hello, sir. I hope you are fine and well. How'd you find out about the channel, Diamond Star? Because I think you're trolling. And I don't want to accuse you of trolling, but that's all we've had during this show are trolls. Oh, old subscriber? Okay. So how'd you find out about me initially? Just curious to know. Old subscriber, how long ago? This is a new channel. Okay. Fantastic. Well, doing well. How about yourself? Thank you for being here. Yeah, I look forward to just letting Dawn be Dawn and letting her talk about whatever the hell she feels like talking about whenever the hell she feels like talking about it. Oh, Pusha Studios. Oh, hey. Oh, you found out about me through Pusha Studios. You aren't Pusha Studios, but you found out about me through Pusha Studios. Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about... I can't remember the lady's name now. She used to go, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. She would can't clap my hands because I'm holding a selfie stick. Super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. Remember that? She would say super sticker, super chat. Man, those two made a ton of money. Here's the funny thing. Andrew and Ksenia, that's who it was. I remember now. I remember the name. Correct. My apologies. Oh, no problem, man. No worries. My apologies for thinking you were a troll. No, I get it. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, you're talking about Andrew and Ksenia from Canada, right? Here's a story where these people, they were doing the, what do you call it? The growth streams. They were doing the sub for sub thing, and they were monetizing the hell out of it, right? And they were making lots of super chats, super stickers. They had channel members. They had everything, right? They made lots of money, and apparently it wasn't good enough because they ended up moving. And from what I heard, they were really struggling financially. I don't understand. When you have your channel that's doing that, their channel was doing well because of the growth streams. And if they found a way to keep those people around, they would have done well. I just don't understand why they gave up. I don't understand. Haha, she sure did. Yeah. No, I understand. How's it going in the States with Mr. Orange? Who's Mr. Orange? They were doing well and had many members. Right. No, you're absolutely right. Ksenia, Andrea and Ksenia from Pusha Studios, they were doing really well. Their channel was firing on all cylinders. But even then, it wasn't enough for them. Along with, Andrew had his photo business. Maybe COVID affected them, it's possible. But, I mean, Andrew was a successful photographer for decades. And if he didn't put away money to overcome the bad times, I don't understand what their demise was. And I would love to hear their story, because many people have gone down that path. I don't want to. It's not about hearing their story to shame them. It's about hearing their story regarding what happened, right? Now, a lot of people were criticizing them of doing sub for sub and, like selling out their channel to connecting people and creating a cult environment that's just for their own benefit. Like that community is where I met a lot of people like you. I met a lot of good people, but I used it for networking. A lot of these creators used it to make money, and didn't really care about the people that were donating. Maybe that's what happened to them. Who knows? I don't know. I don't think they were bad people, but honestly, to be honest with you, I didn't think they were the most authentic. I think they were doing it just for the money. And they really started to amp things up towards the end. I think maybe that's what happened. Maybe people just stopped supporting them at the level they were. They were making less money. They were getting less views on their videos, less ad revenue. Maybe that affected them. Who knows? Mr. Orange, as in Mr. Trump. Oh, yeah, Mr. Orange. That's true. That's true. He paints his face orange, right? Are you from the States or are you from Canada? They did a couple of interviews at one point. They did a couple of interviews at one point after they left YouTube, are you saying? And if so, you're from Scotland. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So they did a couple of interviews after they left YouTube. And did they mention why they left? And are those interviews still publicly available out here on YouTube? I'm kind of curious. You're from Scotland, eh? Right? Is that how they talk? Eh? No disrespect, man. Scottish people are cool people, man. No, they did interviews when they were active. Oh, on their channel, yes. With people, yes. Yeah. Yeah, they took a 6-month break, and I think they came back and made a community post or one video, and then no one ever heard from them again. I sure am. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, so, a week from tomorrow is when my girlfriend Dawn and I are going to be releasing our first podcast episode, Don and Eli Take on the World. It's going to be released, pre-recorded on the other channel. Link is below in the description if you haven't subscribed yet. GNA, Genuine Personal Development. I'm also doing the in-studio live streams on that channel for the time being, but once we get 5 or 10 podcast episodes going, then even the in-studio live streams will move back over here to GNA2. All the live streams will be here, and then that channel will be primarily a pre-recorded channel. Looks like 101 is starting to move a little bit more. Well, thank you for that. Well, good luck to you and your missus. Well, thank you so much. And, I'm sorry that I thought you were a troll. It's been a while, and, I've had, a lot of interesting experiences out here on YouTube, and I've had my ups and downs, and, we're just trying to rebuild our audience with more decent and reasonable people. Actually, we don't even care if we get some crazy people. We just want to get new people besides the group of people that have been watching my streams for the last many years, and they're not real supporters. They're not here to support the content. Not for the right reasons, at least. So, I know some people can change and learn. Yeah. I've learned quite a bit in the 7 years I've been doing this pretty much full time. I've learned quite a bit. I've also learned how to better protect myself. I've learned what I can and can't get away with. And it's not like I'm trying to get away with anything, but a lot of creators talk a big game out here, and they make massive threats to try to sway you to do something they want you to do that benefits them and doesn't benefit you. And I've actually just learned most of those threats are empty threats. They're meaningless, right? They're absolutely meaningless, right? Whew. It's been a really, really good walk today. Yeah, so self-reflection. Very important. Exactly. It is wasted energy. No, you're right, man. You're right. And that's what I've been trying to share with people. Like, I know I wasted a lot of energy focusing a lot of my content on trolls in the past and haters, and just calling them out and just trying to reason with them and stuff. And there's no reasoning with trolls. Trolls are unreasonable people. They're not here to reason with you. You have to learn to understand that, right? And so I've learned that, but that doesn't mean people like my girlfriend and other people like Tia and Sandra Palacio and other people that support the channels here, they're learning it. They've learned pretty much everything I've learned, but it took time to get them to learn and understand things that I do at the level I do. So, that's one thing I was working on with Dawn, is to understand that, the things these people do, they're doing it not because they actually feel what they're saying about you is true. They're doing it as a self-reflection of what they see in the mirror, right? That's why this topic came about today, because A lot of people, most people, the way they act or react is a direct reflection of what they see in the mirror. Whatever they're, saying negatively to other people, in some way, shape, or form, they have felt or are currently still feeling that way about themselves, right? Since I got with my new woman, I have become a better person. I have quit alcohol and vaping. Wow. And start concentrate on my health and try to be a more positive and mature person. Now I know who you are. You just gave yourself away, dude. You gave yourself away. You're the guy that emailed me yesterday. You want to come back here and troll me some more, dude. I was very immature. Were you, Donnie? Very immature? Were you very immature in the ways that you treated me too? Come on, dude. Oh, boy. You like getting your Eli fix every now and then, Donnie. It's all good. You had me going there for a little bit. But you mentioned a few things that you had mentioned in the past that gave you away, brother. I was very immature. Well, we've all been immature, brother. We've all been immature. Yeah. We've all had our moments, right? And as much as you've had your ups and downs with my content here and chastised the way I handle things at times, you've gotten some value. It's helped you out. And I'm glad it has. I'm glad it's helped you out, and I'm glad that your woman has made a big difference in your life. Quitting drinking, quitting vaping or smoking, that's a good thing. And let me tell you, you find the right woman and she finds the right man, together you're an unstoppable team. And that's why Don and I are unstoppable. Look, we've been through a lot. We've been through the ringer out here. We've had a lot of people come at us, but I'll tell you what, it's only made us stronger, and we're still together. Because a couple that was truly meant to be together stays together. They stick together, and they become stronger. And all the bullshit they went through caused by other people are great talking points to help other people become as strong as we did. Right? Definitely through thick and thin. Yeah. Of course, man, of course. Now, let me check out over here a second. Okay. I'll tell you this, Donnie. I'll mention this publicly. I really don't care. I got a couple of emails from you yesterday, and I got an email from GLM, God Loves Me, to unblock her. And I don't hate either one of you. I think both of you are good people. And both of you have excellent talking points. You're smart people, and you have a lot of life experience. And you have a lot of YouTube experience, right? The problem is you folks are still considered leaks into this drama sphere I want no part of. And that's the thing, GLM. If you're watching this, I'm sure you are. Like, Don and I have a lot of respect for you. Seriously. Like, listen, we're not joking here. This is not a fucking YouTube joke. I'm a raw and real person. And who knows? Maybe one day I will bring you back. I've been talking about that with some of the people behind the scenes, including Don. We haven't decided yet, but the point is that, it's sad when you see talent in people. Like, I see a lot of talent, and so does Don, so does Tia, and so does Santa Palacio. We see a lot of talent in GLM. GLM, you could start a YouTube channel and rise above all these fucking stupid people that you're still hanging around with that are just subpar to you and your family, right? Definitely through thick and thin. Well, I will be deleting the channel and start a brand new one in the future. GLM, like I said, you have a lot of talent. You're talented to the point of where you could run a show like Oprah Winfrey. And I'm not saying that to compare you to Oprah or compare Oprah to you. What I'm saying is that you're a great speaker. You're educated. You speak well, like I said, and the way that you discuss topics rationally and reasonably is very respectful and respected. Right? But you got this audience of people that's a bunch of dumb, miserable fucking trolls and miserable fucking people that, and I'm not saying this to be rude, it's the truth, they're subpar compared to what you're worth. They're subpar. Right? It's almost like wasted talent. New brand and just concentrate on one type of genre. Okay, yeah. Well, whatever floats your boat, dude. Whatever makes you happy, do you. All I'm saying is that there are many people that I actually love and respect that are a part of this Dramasphere group. They still associate with people from that Dramasphere group of just ridiculous, hateful creators, right? And for some reason, they can't get away from them, or they just don't want to get away from them, right? Or they think like, well, that's my audience, I'll just deal with what I've got. You don't have to deal with that. You can find a better audience. Because Don and I and the rest of us want nothing to do with that audience. And it's like, it's not that we want to make you choose. But in this case, you have to choose because we're too far apart. We're too far apart in what we do. And we don't want to be associated with people that are leaks back into putting us in a place where we're going backwards instead of moving forwards. Or backwards instead of moving forward, which is what I'm trying to say, which is what we're doing. We don't have a problem letting some people back in for the right reasons. We just don't want any of the dumb shit coming along with it. We don't. And we don't want to be told who to unblock and who to block. Right. The thing is, when it comes to people like GLM and you, Donnie, and some others, right? No disrespect intended, right? It comes with a level of of typically it comes with a level of control, right? And it's like I don't run my channels in the ways these drama channels run them. I don't moderate everyone, and my channels are not drama channels. They're channels with real topics, and they're serious in nature. That egret is back again. I think that's the same egret from yesterday. It's taking a nice stroll. Let me see if I can get it on camera. You gotta be careful because those egrets will attack you. See, there's the egret. Hi, egret. There it goes. See, it just flew away because it saw me coming. I'll come over here for a couple more minutes. I think there's a few people coming off the trail and let them pop on off. And I'll come on over here on the bench and sit down for a few. Well, I get you. It's your channel, and good luck for the future. Of course, man. Listen, you know, we all have different purposes, and we're all trying to accomplish different things. I'm trying to accomplish something bigger than me, bro. This is not even about me. This is about people. This is about building unity and not division. I'm not here to create division, and a lot of these drama channels are about dividing and conquering. I'm not about that, man. I want to deal with reasonable people that can have reasonable conversations, and at the end of the day, you know, we can meet in the middle. We don't have to agree on everything or anything. It's just, hey, let's at least meet each other halfway. And with these people, you can't even meet them a fourth of the way or a fifth of the way or a tenth of the way. These people are all or nothing. Like there's no upside to dealing with these people, Donnie. You know it. So yeah, I appreciate though everything that you've said. It was nice having you around today. I really wish YouTube would fix this. It's still backwards. No worries. Take care, fella. Sure, man. Nice to see you again, man. Hang on a second. Brown pelicans will arrive in greater numbers to dive in the slots for new populations of fish. Highway 101, Redwood City, Inner Bear Island, Middle Bear Island, Outer Bear Island, SF Bay, San Mateo Bridge. All right, folks, start getting your final questions, comments, concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in about 5 minutes or so. And I'm glad I came out a little bit early today. I'm trying to get on these walks earlier when possible. Somebody's riding a bike into the trail. All right. Start looking at yourselves in the mirror, folks. And dig deep to fix anything you're struggling with. The answer is always deep within yourself, deep within your own heart and soul. Let me see here. It's a Bay Trail. We got some people coming. So I'm going to wait a second. You just have to learn to accept responsibility for your actions. You have to learn to understand that you're not always going to be right about everything. And that's hard for anyone to overcome initially. Most people figure this out at a younger age. Some people, it took me probably till my mid to late 20s, early 30s to figure it out. Some people are in their 40s and 50s and still haven't figured it out. But it's never too late. And one of the main reasons why people don't figure it out, especially when they get to an older age, like 40 or 50, in their 40s or 50s, is because they're struggling with self-love. They don't love who they are. If you don't love who you are, then you're not even capable of self-reflecting. Like if you don't love who you are and you're always an unhappy and miserable person, then you're not even in a good place enough to figure out to self-reflect. So you've got to at least get yourself to a place where you're starting to realize that, hey, maybe the majority, if not all of your issues stem from how you see yourself and self-reflection, right? And that's the hardest thing to do. The hardest thing to do is hold yourself accountable, right? The hardest thing to do is to admit that you're wrong about something or anything, right? But I promise you this. The moment that you start to accept responsibility, the moment you start to understand that you're not perfect and that you make mistakes, and you start to own those mistakes, it'll change your life. You will feel so much better about yourself. You're not going to need any validation from anyone to feel good because you've reached that level of security within yourself. And that's the place I'd like to help everyone get to. That's why I do what I do. I struggled with all of this. And at times, I still struggle with it. Even the best of us, we're going to struggle with anything at times. Even Tony Robbins, I'm sure Tony Robbins, who's the guru on self-help and personal development and positivity, I'm sure he struggles with things at times, right? That happens to all of us. But we got to get to a place, for the most part, where if we have a bad day or two every now and then, or a bad moment every now and then, to say, fuck it, it is what it is. Who gives a shit? We're human. We're going to make mistakes, right? Nothing wrong with that. That being said, I want to thank you all for being here. 6 thumbs up. Please smash thumbs up. Please share this out. 94 minutes, an hour and 34 minutes. Love you all. Be back tomorrow for another show, hopefully here on the trail earlier on in the day. That being said, have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.